Hey guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto and female Sasuke fights at the Valley of the End, part 1. So before we start, go check out the author of this fanfic, Katy Muhle, link is in the description, and also subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let's start the story. The rain poured down on the terrain with a vengeance, sharp and merciless, as it made contact to the ground. It wasn't near a storm, more of a silent attack from the clouds above. The rain held no potential to be as deadly as it would have in a stormy atmosphere. No, there was a storm, but not from the sky. Emotion is an aspect and characteristic that very well defines living beings. It holds feelings to life and its hardships, as well as the ability to face challenges with uncertainty and wariness. Life is never easy when feelings are involved. Humanity and animals are no different when it comes to feelings, except for the fact that humans have a better grasp of them. They understand and run into depth where animals would just stick to basic primal instincts given to them by Mother Nature. Relationships are the forefront of some of the most welcoming feelings in existence, yet there are always the feelings that are dreaded and fought very hard to never be introduced. Love, such a simple term that holds vast meaning, has so many ways to love, but in the end they all lead to the same concept, companionship. Humanity can never be left to its own devices. Solitude may be a temporal escape from the harsh realities of life, but that's just what it is, temporal. Humans cannot live without each other. The urge to seek acknowledgement and understanding will always outweigh the urge to be alone. The mind works in different ways, but human traditions do not change. Since the beginning of time, social endeavors have always been a part of human nature that will never change. To cut oneself from all is to cut oneself from sanity. It is all an unwritten law that can never be broken. Love is an easy feeling to withhold, but so is hate. Hate can only be driven by betrayal, misunderstanding, pride, and stubbornness. It is not uncommon to think of love and hate as the same thing, because, in a way, it is true. Love can only be created by ambition, a need to be accepted and understood, and a connection, so can hate. These two emotions differ greatly from each other as well. Love is kind, controlled, and blatantly thrust upon someone. However, hate is vicious. It eats away at one's soul, until only a shell is left in its wake. It bears no distinct value, only malice. Naruto lived a hell of a life. He had sought never to entertain thoughts from his past circumstances, but they always came. He grew up in an orphanage, with no love and little encouragement. His caretakers despised his very existence, making sure he never enjoyed his stay at that place, treating him as if he was an unwanted animal that was forced into their care, like they were the victims of a scandalous betrayal. He never understood any of it. He had run away when it became abundantly clear that he was not welcomed. He had lived in the streets of Konoha for Kami. He can't even remember how long. He isn't even sure he wanted to. The village hated him. They always made it known with their attacks, assaults, whatever it may be called. They tortured him, beat him to an inch of his life, peeled his skin only to pour poisons on the exposed flesh, cut him anywhere they could, and somehow he would survive it all. He felt sick to his stomach. Even after everything they did to make his life in that village pure hell, he never resulted in hating them, no. As ludicrous as it sounded, their treatment only made him want to prove himself more, to be accepted among them, to have a connection with them that held no mirth, to understand them. To understand why they hated him so much. He would have deemed himself insane from such thoughts if it were not for Sarutobi supporting his beliefs. He lived a life of solitude until he was enrolled into the academy, meeting so many people. Although no one ever treated him seriously, he was still content with what he had. They were not his friends, but at least they acknowledged his presence without attacking. To him, that meant everything. He had gotten to know a lot of people, one of them being the Uchiha prodigy. Sasuke Uchiha, the last Uchiha, the chosen one, Konoha's hero. He was known by many things, but all Naruto knew him by was team. He was a team, an egotistical, social-grabbing, attention-seeking team, and for the first time in his life, Naruto found himself hating someone with a passion. It didn't make any sense. The villagers did far worse than Sasuke ever could, but he chose to hate the Uchiha anyway. Maybe he really had gone insane. They were rivals, although Sasuke didn't see it fit to categorize them as such. They were rivals with a dislike for the other. He was the loud-mouthed, obnoxious, knucklehead who people occasionally dismissed, while Sasuke was the silent, brooding Uchiha prick that got all the attention. Was there even any irony in that? He hated the Uchiha. He hated him with a passion because of his attitude towards people, including himself. The Uchiha always thought of himself so highly, like everyone was beneath him, like he could do whatever he wanted. That alone was more than justification for his anger towards that team. Then they were put in the same team, and Naruto felt like laughing at the irony of it all. The only reason he was so excited was because he was in the same team as Sakura. It was a bittersweet predicament. He actually thought that he could beat the Uchiha now, that he could show how strong he was to everyone, gaining Sakura's love in the long run. It never worked out that way. Sasuke beat him in every way possible. He was better than him, faster, stronger, and he had Sakura wrapped around his finger, even if he never made any attempt to get to know the girl. He was living up to his prodigy status, and Naruto was being left in the dust. It was such a frustrating period. It was a long and rough road, but they finally conceded to tolerate each other, and with that came trust, followed by partnership. There were Team 7, all of them, every single individual, united to fight together and support each other. Where did it all go wrong? Sasuke seemed fine in that period. He was still a cocky bastard, sure, but he was also a friend and a teammate you could count on. Naruto trusted him with his own life. The curse mark incident always escaped him, mainly because he was unconscious at the time, but it was still clear that Sasuke seemed somewhat off in the exams. Something happened to his comrade, but it didn't seem too significant to warrant worry, so it was safe to say that Naruto easily brushed it off, as a passing thought. But when Sasuke started to show visible hostility towards not only him, but Sakura as well, that's when he drew the line. Sasuke had changed over time, and Naruto honestly thought it was for the better. Oh, how he wished that was the case. It turned out that Sasuke's attitude had hid a malicious streak. Naruto didn't know what prompted the change in behavior, but it happened anyway. Sasuke had become dangerous, and Naruto was angry at his blatant act of disrespect towards Sakura and himself. It almost ended with them shoving A and Chidori at each other. It was only luck that Kakashi was there to intervene. It could have ended much worse. Not long after that, Sasuke left Konoha, and Naruto could not hold in his shock when he heard that, no matter what had happened between them, he always thought of Sasuke as a brother. They both grew up alone, Naruto more so. Although Sasuke had a family in the beginning, he still lost them quite early in his childhood. Naruto never had a family to begin with, so in a way they could relate to each other. To find out that Sasuke had left Konoha stung greatly. It took so long to find Sasuke again, and when he did, he finally saw some semblance of the person Sasuke was becoming, and to be honest, he was scared. Scared of losing his friend, his brother in arms. He was afraid for Sasuke. He had vowed to bring him back, even going as far as to declare breaking every single bone in Sasuke's body to do so. It didn't take long for their little confrontation to turn physical, with punches and kicks for emphasis. It had escalated so greatly that he had to draw into the fox's chakra, while Sasuke used that curse seal for his own power. The grotesque wings and the psychotic face only made Naruto more resolute in saving his friend from making a huge mistake. So is this it? After everything we've been through, did we mean nothing to you? Naruto snarled, as his slib blood-red eyes glared at Sasuke. I will admit at some point I did consider you my friend, the winged figure said almost thoughtfully. So why are you doing this? Naruto screeched in fury. Simple dope, I am an avenger. My purpose is to kill my brother and avenge my clan. To do that I need power you wouldn't understand, Sasuke said sharply, as if it suddenly registered to him who he was talking to. You don't have to do this alone. We can help you through this. Don't throw away everything for stupid power. Naruto pleaded earnestly. You have no idea what I've been through. Don't even think you can relate to me, Sasuke sneered in disdain. I can relate. I grew up alone, just like you. Naruto screamed pointedly. At least I had a family. You had nothing from the start. Ouch, even Sasuke could admit, albeit stubbornly, that it was a harsh thing to say. You're right. I grew up alone, but that changed. I made comrades who I'd risk my life for, including you. Don't for 1 second think I'm going to go easy on you. I will bring you back to Konoha, or die trying, he whispered the last part. It won't end well for you. I'm not going to hold back either, Sasuke said, and then licked his lips. He was going to enjoy killing this nuisance. Naruto screamed, as he charged at Sasuke at incredible speeds, fists ready to knock out the Uchiha. Sasuke easily dodged all the fists that were aimed at him. Using Naruto's rage to his advantage, he continued with his verbal assault. I thought of you as a friend before, but after some time I realized you weren't worthy of such a rank. You don't deserve friends, that's why you're alone, Sasuke said mirthlessly, but the sick glee was still prominent. Naruto kept trying to punch or kick Sasuke, his anger dampening his sense of logic. Sasuke saw an opening, and then sent a powerful hook straight to Naruto's face. Said boy flew, and hit the ground hard. It did nothing to deter Naruto, as he stood quickly, and gathered his bearings. Sasuke saw the change in demeanor, and became more alert instantly. Naruto looked much calmer, and that was not going to make this battle easy. Naruto calmed himself, as much as possible, as the fox's chakra burned his skin. His anger was not helping him in this situation, and now he was more prepared. He quickly disappeared. Sasuke had less than a second to block the punch that suddenly came within an inch of his face. However, it had left his abdomen wide open, and he realized, too late, that his face wasn't the intended target. Naruto shot his foot and kicked Sasuke in the stomach, running his knee as far as he could. When the Uchiha began to convulse in pain, Naruto used that opportunity to send a fury of fists at the Uchiha's face. Sasuke flew to the rocks near the waterfall, and crashed into them. The Valley of the End was starting to slowly look like a miniature war zone. Sasuke shot to the sky, and dove straight at Naruto with his arms outstretched. A loud explosion resonated, as Sasuke made an impact, creating a large cloud of dust. When the dust cleared, Sasuke was standing on a crater. Naruto was nowhere in sight. Just as suddenly Naruto appeared behind the Uchiha and punched his skull, sending Sasuke skidding on the ground until he crashed into the waterfall itself. Sasuke had enough of this. He needed to get to Orochimaru, and Naruto was only delaying the inevitable. He looked at his former comrade and rival. After all that, after everything, you still think I'm going to go back with you? The answer was obvious, but Sasuke just needed to goad the idiot into a heroic rant while he prepared his finishing blow. Yeah, we're not going to lose you. I will not let you ruin your life by freaking team. Naruto spat, and then saw that Sasuke was beginning to perform something. That's when he realized that this battle had stemmed for far too long. It was time to finish this. He quickly made a cage bunchen that helped him to create a, with added effect, thanks to the fox's chakra. Sasuke prepared his Chidori. He snorted when he saw Naruto summon a shadow clone for his own attack. What a loser. Naruto made sure that he put everything he had into this. This was a do-or-die situation, and Naruto knew that if he held back even just a little bit, then the retrieval mission would all be in vain. A lot was riding on this. So many of his friends were putting their lives on the line to make sure that Sasuke's betrayal to the Leaf would not have repercussions in the near future. He was not going to fail them. He couldn't afford to fail. Sasuke's Chidori was almost at full strength, and he stared at Naruto with contempt. He was not going to hold anything back. If the dope died, then it would be his own fault. Sasuke felt a slight amount of regret for what he was about to do, but that feeling quickly subsided when he convinced himself that he had no other choice but to do this. Naruto would not let him leave on his own. He had no choice but to kill him or risk going back to a village that most certainly had deemed him a missing nin. After all this is over, no one will stop me from achieving my goal, Sasuke said cryptically. Sorry Sasuke, but your goal has to wait a little longer, Naruto said seriously. Sasuke's Chidori was ready, and so was Naruto's. They locked eyes, and knew what was to come. The end of the battle was near. Naruto jumped into the air with an outstretched arm, swirling furiously, and focused on his target. Sasuke did the same, as the lighting coursed through his hand, ready for the final attack. Rasengan. Chidori. A loud bang could be heard, as the two superpowers clashed, and battled for dominance. Naruto was trying his best to keep his demeanor in check, but he struggled to maintain it when thoughts of a dead Sasuke started to plague his mind. His outstretched hand wavered slightly, but held firm. Sasuke was a little overwhelmed with Naruto's power, and he was struggling to press his assault. He kept calling for more power, which the curse seal provided eagerly, but he could not penetrate Naruto's. He started to slowly gain the advantage. Naruto. Sasuke. They were putting their all into the attack. Naruto knew he could not kill Sasuke, so he wasn't aiming for a vital point. Sasuke, however, had no quarrels with taking his former friend's life. As soon as Naruto's resolve dwindled, even for a second, Sasuke thrust the Chidori at Naruto's chest. For a split second their eyes met, and Sasuke couldn't help but stare at the emotions that were plaguing the knucklehead: determination, anger, confusion, and regret. What could he possibly be regretful for? He witnessed Naruto's hand glide by his head, and realized Naruto had just missed him. Then after he realized that Naruto was so powerful that Sasuke felt his left shoulder snap painfully. He gritted his teeth as he added more pressure into his Chidori, until he was sure it went through Naruto's chest. Another loud explosion came from the area, this one louder than the last. Huge clouds of dust and smoke went into the air, a symbol of catastrophe. Sasuke was battered and bruised from the fight. It shouldn't have ended that way. He should have walked out of this unscathed, but Naruto had somehow persisted through the entire battle. Even with everything on the line, Naruto still couldn't finish the job. Pathetic. Sasuke looked at his left arm and could see that it needed medical attention. That ugly gash was nothing to laugh about. Hell, every part of him needed medical attention. He also realized, to his shock, that he was completely exhausted. He could barely stand. No. How did it come to this? He should have had a little more energy to at least make it to Orochimaru, but he didn't. He looked at his opponent and already knew that Naruto was either unconscious or dead. The latter made him feel uncomfortable for some reason. He tried to move his legs, but a sharp pain stopped him in his tracks. He looked down and realized, to his dismay, that the injuries which he sustained were more serious than he suspected. One of his legs was surely broken, the other bruised with sickening colors. He was sure that if he wasn't wearing a shirt, then he would see far worse. He gritted his teeth in anger. That stupid dope. Why did he have to come here? Why did he have to ruin everything? If he still had energy left, then Sasuke would have made sure he killed the idiot. A sharp pain on his abdomen made him grab his stomach and convulse. It was more painful than any of his injuries. They numbed in comparison. He heaved. He felt like someone was slowly playing with his insides, as if someone was rearranging his stomach. It didn't stop from there. It worsened tenfold. His whole body felt like it was set on fire, and then dumped in a pit of lava. The sensation was absolutely unbearable. He grunted out, as he tried his best to fight the pain, but it was of no use. He could feel blood coming out of his mouth, nose, and ears. It was too much to take, even for him. He screamed to the sky, as the pain overwhelmed him, and then collapsed on the ground. Silence reigned at the Valley of the End. Only a light glow of pink could be seen covering Sasuke's body. Kakashi was racing against time. He was frantic. Sasuke betraying the leaf, and Naruto going after him. In the past he always thought that it would never come to this, but it seemed that was not the case. He failed, he knew that, he failed, as a sensei. It stung to no end that he thought he actually knew what he was doing when in fact it was the opposite. If Minato was still alive, then Kakashi knew his former sensei would be disappointed in him for the way he taught his students. If not, then he would be certainly pissed. Kami, it was so messed up, the whole situation. It shouldn't have come to this. He should have been more careful, more attentive, but he knew now wasn't the time for what-ifs. He needed to find his students, and prayed that he wasn't too late, prayed that there weren't any casualties for his neglect. He sprinted through the forest, using trees to aid him in his endeavor. It was hard looking for anyone since it was difficult to detect their chakra. Then he felt something. It was so faint that he would have missed it if he wasn't looking carefully. He sensed a chakra source, which was slowly fading. He went to it with as much speed as a former Anbu Black Ops had. He could slowly see outlines of the Valley of the End, and a sense of foreboding overcame him. For some reason he didn't want to know what was happening there, but he still persisted. When he arrived he was actually surprised with the damage. It looked like there was a huge fight. He looked to the ground below, and immediately saw the familiar blonde hair which was covered in blood. The boy looked terrible. Naruto looked dead to the world, and Kakashi's heart stopped at the sight. He felt worse than scum. He quickly jumped down, and raced to Naruto. When he got to the boy he carefully analyzed his injuries. A lot of cuts and bruises, but the most significant injury was the big hole through his chest. Kakashi wanted to throw up at the sight. He fought back the bitter tears, as he looked at Naruto. Minato wouldn't be disappointed, he would downright kill Kakashi for this. "I'm sorry sensei, I failed." There was nothing else he could say on the matter. The damage had been done, and there would be no turning back from it. He set his face to that of grim determination. The only silver lining of hope was the fact that the wound was starting to slowly heal, indicating that Naruto was still alive, barely clinging on. He needed to get Naruto away from here, and bring him back to Konoha. He quickly took another glance around, and was met with an unexpected sight: Sasuke. Sasuke was on the ground, on his face. Kakashi knew it was Sasuke because of the clothes. If it wasn't for that, then he would have never identified the Uchiha. Kakashi could tell that he suffered some harsh injuries, but not as significant as Naruto's. He quickly made his way to Sasuke to assess any damages, but before he could turn the Uchiha around, he was met with another unexpected sight. Sasuke's hair was longer, so long that it went past his behind, and covered some of his legs from view, which looked slightly thinner, along with his arms. It must have been the effects of the curse seal, Kakashi deduced. He quickly turned the Uchiha around, and was shocked to the core. Although Sasuke sustained a lot of injuries, Kakashi was not focusing on them. He was looking at Sasuke's face, which looked feminine. He could see the similarities the face held to Sasuke. He could even see the familiar curse mark, but he could not comprehend what the hell was going on. When his eyes trailed down Sasuke's body, he was met with yet another surprise. Two mounts were protruding from the Uchiha's chest, and were constricted by the tighter shirt. It didn't take a genius to know that those were breasts. As Kakashi continued his analysis, he realized that Sasuke's body had a feminine build as well, sending him to complete bewilderment. What the hell happened to Sasuke? Did the curse seal somehow change him? Was this even Sasuke at all? No, now wasn't the time for this. Both children needed medical attention, and Kakashi had to be quick. He made a cage bunchen to handle the girl while he took care of Naruto. He filed away all his questions for later, and quickly sprinted, with his clone, to Konoha. Her head was pounding. She could feel her entire body, and it was painful. Every single part of her felt pain. It was truly an unbearable process. She slowly opened her eyes, and squinted when harsh light assaulted her vision. She slowly started to open her eyes again when she felt them adjusting to the light. She felt constricted, compressed, and she was finding it difficult to move her limbs. They were not responding at all. She took in the scenery around her, and could already tell that she was in a hospital room, or not just any hospital, Konoha. With all those injuries you've sustained, I'm surprised that you're awake so quickly. She quickly looked to where the voice came from, and saw the Hokage herself looking out of the room's window. No doubt she was looking at the village. I ran a medical analysis on your body. You may have sustained a lot of injuries, but you are still able to talk, Tsunade said, as she tore her eyes away from the village, and looked at the girl, who was bandaged from head to toe, looking more like a mummy than anything else. The girl just stared at her with an unreadable expression, and Tsunade had her doubts that anything productive would be said or done tonight. She wasn't giving up, however, not after what Kakashi told her. She needed to make sure for herself of who this person really was. Even if she bore a striking resemblance to Sasuke, she couldn't afford to run to conclusions. It is a bit too early for your recovery, so don't worry. You don't have to say a lot yet. Tomorrow, however, is a different story. With that being said, I need to know one thing. Taking the silence as a yes, Tsunade continued, are you Sasuke Uchiha? Not even a shake of the head. The girl wasn't responding to her question at all, and Tsunade had half a mind to use force to get her answers. She was about to ask another, more direct question when she saw the girl look down at herself, and gasp involuntarily. That was interesting. Her eyes were wide open in shock. She looked at her arms and chest, as if she was seeing herself for the first time in her life. She had a hard time tearing away from the side of her body, and looking at the Hokage wide-eyed. Tsunade analyzed the reaction quite carefully. The girl seemed confused, if those wide eyes were anything to go by. Tsunade looked into those onyx orbs, and saw the different emotions playing out: confusion, then anger, then surprise, then recognition, then resignation, and then finally indifference, the only indifference an Uchiha knew how to pull. I'll ask again. Are you Sasuke Uchiha? Tsunade asked evenly. The girl just stared at her with the same look, and Tsunade was starting to lose her patience. She decided to try something else. You were lucky when we found you. If it were not for us, then you could have died from your wounds. The same goes for Naruto. When she saw those onyx eyes waver at the very mention of said blonde, Tsunade knew she was getting somewhere. His chest was the worst. It had a complete hole through it, barely missing his heart. I've seen a lot of things in my past, but that had to be one of the most gruesome memories that will stay with me forever. Poor Naruto, such a good boy, didn't deserve such a fate, but he is a ninja after all, a tool. Stuff like this happens every day. The girl full out glared at her, especially when she heard the last statement, and Tsunade was now convinced that this was Sasuke Uchiha. She didn't mean the words she said about Naruto. She cared about him, but she needed to get the desired reaction out of the girl, which was a success. I shouldn't ramble on. Get some rest, because I won't be as lenient as I have been tonight. You will answer my questions tomorrow, or there will be consequences. Tsunade said with finality, and then left the room. Her tense body relaxed when the Hokage left. She breathed in a sigh of relief. That conversation could have turned fatal in an instant. She was lucky she kept her mouth shut. She looked down at herself, and sighed again. It had finally happened. They had finally been released. After all these years of being forced to masquerade as a boy, because her father never wanted any daughters, and forced her to hide her gender quite thoroughly. All because I was a girl. It had been forced upon her a few hours after birth, according to her mother, and she had lived as a boy ever since. She even believed that she was a boy until her mother had told her the truth when she was 5. She snorted at the memory. It was hard for her to believe such a thing, but her mother had finally convinced her, and with that came the questions. Why was she a girl if she was really a boy? Why her? What does she do to deserve this? The answers that came forth were not comforting. She just couldn't help but wonder how people would react to the fact that the great Sasuke Uchiha, the male epitome of female interest, was in fact a girl herself. Over time she had grown to accept the situation. When her clan was murdered, she didn't even care about her gender anymore. The most important thing, the one thing that she had committed to, was vengeance. Her one and true goal was to kill her brother, and avenge her clan in the process. Only then could she focus on anything else, like reviving her clan or something. She guessed the gender change was a blessing in some way. If she was discovered to be female, at a young age, then she would have been subjugated to a life of breeding, instead of being a shinobi. The very thought made her shiver. Now the jig was up. People would know sooner or later of her true identity, not that she cared. To make matters worse, she ran away from Konoha, betraying them in the process. Her escape had been a failure. Things were not looking good there. Naruto, when she thought of Tsunade's earlier words, she gritted her teeth. She was angry with the old hag for her attitude towards Naruto's well-being. She silently hoped the dope was alive. Yes, even if she disliked the idiot and tried to kill him, it wouldn't help for him to suddenly give up on life and die. Oh Kami, what will he do when he sees her true form, the real her? She felt like escaping Konoha all over again, no reasons coming forth. She shouldn't care what they thought of her. She was an Uchiha prodigy. She doesn't care about them, only her goal matters. Knowing the village council, they would try their best to get her nothing more than a slap on the wrist for her actions, since she was the last Uchiha. They couldn't submit her to breeding stock either. It was too late. She would fight it, and she thanked Kami for that. She looked outside the window, and saw an Anbu operative situated there. Just great. There was no escaping this time, it seemed. She decided to get some rest, and wait for the inevitable confrontations with everyone, especially Naruto. That is impossible, Hokage-sama. Sasuke Uchiha cannot just turn into a female overnight. It is unprecedented. Sume said from her seat in the council room. I ran the analysis, and proceeded to do a few tests. All of my efforts have pointed out the fact that Sasuke Uchiha is a female, Tsunade said. This is no time for useless accusations, Tsunade, as if the Uchiha's betrayal wasn't enough to deal with, Kairi said. The Uchiha has been captured. He or she is healing, as we speak. She was really getting tired of having to prove herself. She was Hokage. Her words should mean law. I cannot help but think that you are using this as an excuse for your failure to bring back Sasuke Uchiha. Honestly, Tsunade, accusing an innocent girl of being Sasuke, when you should be more focused on bringing him back, Kahiru said irritably. I agree with her, Himura added in. How would you explain the curse mark? She knew it was an idiotic thing to ask, considering that Shikamaru had informed her of more people who had similar curse seals on them. Orochimaru had most probably cast that mark upon the young child, along with others. This conversation is becoming tedious. Tsunade could take a lot from this council, but only to a point. She did not have a lot of patience, a short temper, as well, a combination that spoke volumes for her lack of tolerance to insolence. Are you questioning my judgment, as a Hokage? Tsunade asked dangerously, as she eyed both Kaheru and Himaru. It is not uncommon for people to make mistakes, Tsunade. No one is perfect. Well, screw you too. Tsunade will not be made a fool out of anymore. Enough of this. I did not come here with vague statistics. I administered a chakra test, which was positively identified as the Uchiha's, a blood test which positively identified the girl as Sasuke. Now, who wishes to denounce my proof? Silence was her only answer in the room. It seemed that she was slowly getting through to them, although some still refused to believe her. How is it possible though? We would have all known if Sasuke was female a long time ago. Nobuki said confusedly. She was filling in for her sick husband today. It could have been some side effect of the curse seal. However, a thorough physical exam will be conducted to determine what exactly happened to the boy now girl. An interrogation will also be conducted for further analysis, Tsunade surmised. If that is the case, Hokage-sama, then we will need to discuss possible punishments for Sasuke's defection, Inoichi said. Right, you are Inoichi. I have thought long and hard about this decision, and I think it would be much easier to permanently imprison the Uchiha to avoid future consequences. If she had tried to defect from Konoha already, then it's safe to say that she will do it again when given the chance. It was odd for everyone, referring to Sasuke Uchiha, as a girl did not make any sense to the image of the stoic boy they have all burned to memory. That would not be a good idea, Tsunade. If Sasuke is indeed here, then the safest thing for us to do is give him a probationary period, and try to sway his ideas of defection away from his thoughts, Kaheru said, making sure to ignore the glare Tsunade sent her. She did not believe this stupid farce of Sasuke being a female, but it never hurt to be careful. Why on earth would you let the Uchiha free after everything that has happened? The retrieval team suffered greatly because of the Uchiha's betrayal, and the only punishment you're suggesting is nothing more than probation. Tsunade asked fiercely. Would you rather we imprisoned him, and then have Orochimaru somehow free him in the end? He would certainly hate Konoha, and want revenge. We would be looking at a war with Orochimaru and Sasuke. We would not have the advantage of Sharingan wielders, and that could cripple the very foundation of the Leaf Village, Kaheru fought back. And what if she finds a way to escape your probation? It would lead to the same result. There isn't any other choice about this. Sasuke Uchiha must die, Tsunade said in realization. It only made sense. If Sasuke was dead, then Orochimaru couldn't get his hands on her. And what of the Sharingan? There is no other way to transfer it without breeding. We cannot afford to lose such an asset that could mean all the difference in future battles, Himaru said. If Sasuke Uchiha is really a female, then we could subject her to breeding new and capable Sharingan candidates. It would only be just punishment for her actions, Danzo said, as he made his rare appearance in the council room. It would all lead to the same result, betrayal, and a thirst for revenge against Konoha. At this moment Konoha cannot afford to lose any valuable shinobi because of risks like this, Tsunade said sharply. How about we let her give us a few children, and then kill her? We will use the children to develop and restore the Sharingan. Anybody in the room could admit that Danzo was truly a disgusting man with no morals. Subjugating Sasuke's offspring to a life of breeding was borderline monstrous. That is something Tsunade would not allow. I have come up with a compromise of some sort. Seeing all eyes on her, Tsunade continued. Sasuke Uchiha will be given a strict probationary period, where she will be watched over at all times, to see if she could indeed be swayed to love Konoha. There were a lot of happy faces, mainly the civilian portion of the council, but she was far from finished however. If Sasuke attempts to flee the village again, or tries to inflict harm among her fellow civilians, then she will be killed without question. What about developing heirs to the Sharingan cause? Sometimes Tsunade wished she could discreetly kill Danzo and leave it at that. We must give him the option to choose a partner. If we force someone upon him, then he will not produce heirs, Nobuki quickly added, already visualizing her daughter with Sasuke. She refused to believe Tsunade's assumptions. Sasuke could not just turn into a girl out of nowhere. The old hag must have been losing her touch with reality. For the last time, until it is proven otherwise, Sasuke Uchiha is a female, a girl, so if you're going so far to make sure that she is a free woman, then at least have the courtesy to address her as such, Tsunade replied. She wasn't saying this to aid the Uchiha at all. She was getting pissed at people questioning her judgment over and over again. Yes, Hokage-sama, Nobuki replied curtly. As for Sasuke having to choose a partner or even trying to produce heirs, that is out of the question. There was an uproar of demands for an explanation. Simple, she is under probation. She will not be trained, not be romantically involved with anyone, and certainly not have sex. She will commit herself to doing nothing more than D-rank missions for a full 2 years. This time people were really angry at swaying her declaration. She didn't give two shits about it. 2 years, Kaharu screeched. Those conditions will be met or the Uchiha will die by my Anbu's hands. Your choice, and I would advise you to make a wise decision. Tsunade said with finality to the gathered council members. She will not hold room for argument this time. Although they had the advantage of you with votes, she made sure to limit their choices to completely pardon the Uchiha for her crimes. After a long discussion, the gathered crowd had made their decision. Your terms are most agreeable, Hokage-sama, Kaharu said, using her title for the first time in her miserable life. Good, this meeting is adjourned. I will continue my examination of Sasuke, Tsunade informed me, and then leave the council room. Bitch, Kaharu hissed under her breath. She had woken up early in the morning. She didn't know why, but she guessed her internal clock must have been scrambled from her injuries. She was really just guessing at this point. She could never forget that battle she had with Naruto, where they were actually equals in strength for the first time. She snorted at that. It was still painful to move, her body had not fully healed, and the process was a long way from being done. She briefly wondered how long she had been in the hospital. She couldn't tell. Had she been here for a few days? Or maybe for a few weeks? If that was the case, then how come no one had come in and seen her? Where was Sakura? The pink-headed girl would probably be the first to try and see her, because she was in love with her, in love with a lie. It would crush the girl to no end when she realized that she was in love with a fake persona. Oh well, it was Sakura's fault. She had tried to get the girl to see reason, to see that the feelings she felt could never be returned, but Sakura refused to listen. She refused all the signs. Sasuke found herself feeling sorry for Sakura, but it wasn't her problem. Then there was the person that plagued her recent dream. Naruto, where the hell was the idiot? After all the pushing and shoving to bring her back to the leaf, she thought he would at least come to boast about how great he was for defeating her, albeit not indefinitely, but she would have thought that cocky bastard would come to rub it in her face. She could just imagine it. He would walk through that door and say, "Hey Sasuke team. I told you I'd kick your ass." Then afterwards he would look at her with those stupid big blue eyes and scream, "Who the hell are you ladies, and where the hell is that team?" She had to stifle a laugh at the thought. That would definitely be the way Naruto would react. She sighed. She guessed those times of competitive jabs were over. She was an enemy now. Even if people found out about her gender, it wouldn't change their view of who she was to them, a traitor. "Like I care," she whispered fiercely, but there were still those thoughts that scared her, even if she didn't want to admit it. She was really starting to regret trying to escape. The door to the room opened slowly, and Sasuke found herself holding her breath in anticipation, only for her mood to sour when she saw Tsunade. "Good morning, I hope you slept well." The greeting wasn't at all kind, more out of courtesy and mannerism. Sasuke kept her mouth shut and looked outside the window that was next to her. "I hope you remember my words from yesterday. You'll answer every question I ask," Tsunade said, as she grabbed a seat and sat at Uchiha's bed. Sasuke was unmoving. "Are you Sasuke Uchiha?" She knew it was him or her, but it would do her a world of good if she heard it from the accused's mouth. "I will not repeat the question. You better answer or I will break you in half and heal you very slowly," Tsunade said indifferently with a glint in her eye. "Yes," she replied softly, and then cursed her lapse of weakness. She knew Tsunade was not joking with what she said, so she decided to concede and let fate decide. "Good, how are you a female?" Tsunade continued. "You're lucky you have me questioning you. Ibiki will not be so kind. I was born a female." Sasuke blurted out quickly. "Damn this old hag. Why did she have to bring Ibiki up?" "Okay, how did you cover up that fact?" Tsunade asked. "My father used to change my appearance." She couldn't believe that she was actually giving information to Tsunade, but the thought of Ibiki made her thankful for her choice. "I will have to do an investigation on that." "Was it like Naruto's stupid?" Tsunade asked while raising an eyebrow. "No." Sasuke glared at the Hokage. The thing that she was administered to was nothing like Naruto's stupid perverts. "How so?" Tsunade asked. "It was designed to change my body structure to that of a male, while keeping my female attributes dormant until it was released," Sasuke said. "So are you telling me that you were actually a functioning male?" Tsunade asked in bewilderment. "To a point, yes, although I couldn't reproduce like a male could," Sasuke said indifferently. "How was it released?" Tsunade continued. "To be honest, I'm not sure. My parents never taught me any specifics pertaining to the. It could have been released during my fight with the dope." Sasuke shrugged and pointedly ignored the glare Tsunade sent her way. "I must investigate this type of. It seems too hard to believe," Tsunade said in fascination. "Well, I doubt you'll find any remnants of it. I was the last one to suffer from that kind of thing before all the scrolls pertaining to the jutsu's information were burned," Sasuke replied. "Nevertheless, an investigation will be conducted at the Uchiha compound. It isn't like you'll be living there anymore," Tsunade said. "Do you mean to tell me that you're kicking out my birthright?" Sasuke said, as she glared at Tsunade. "You lost that right when you betrayed this village. You've also lost any sort of rank you had here. All of your Uchiha assets will be confiscated until further notice," Tsunade said seriously. "How dare you? I'm a nutch." Slap. Sasuke grunted when she felt the sting of the slap. She could feel the pain slowly increasing again. You're lucky I didn't use any chakra, you wouldn't have a head right now. You don't have any right to deem yourself so highly. From this day forward you are nothing more than a civilian who will do D-rank missions, Tsunade said. Sasuke opened her mouth to protest, but then quickly shut it again when she saw Tsunade getting ready for another slap. You will be in a 2-year probation period. She gave a stern look to silence the stupid girl, and continued, where you'll be watched over for 24 hours of the day, 7 days of the week, and receive no further training. She could see the girl was furious. Tough. Failure to comply will result in your immediate death, cause any trouble, and you will die as well, Tsunade said with finality. Is that all? Sasuke gritted out in fury. She was expecting nothing less of a pardon for her actions, but a probation period with no training. How was she going to beat her brother now? She couldn't even escape this place because they would be watching her like a hawk. Crap. More will be added if I see fit, but that is all for now, Tsunade said, as she stood up and started to make her leave. Where will I live? The question flew out of her mouth before she could stop herself, and she dreaded the answer when Tsunade looked at her again. The old hag looked like she was ready to kill her. Don't you worry. I will make arrangements, Tsunade replied critically, and then left the room. Sasuke sighed again. Her life truly sucked. Naruto opened his eyes groggily. He felt horrible, his body felt terrible. He could barely stand the pain, but he refused to submit to weakness, so he forced himself into a sitting position, and promptly doubled over in pain. Easy Naruto. You're injured, you shouldn't try to move yourself. He felt a hand gently push him down until he was laying on the bed yet again. He looked up lazily, and saw a blurred vision. When he could finally see, clearly focus, he was met with the sight of a worried Sakura. Sakura-chan. Naruto called hoarsely. Yeah Naruto, I'm here. She sounded like she was struggling not to cry. Though he couldn't think of anything else to say. He realized, to his dismay, that he was back in the hospital. Naruto. Sakura looked down, as if she was afraid to speak. Yeah? Naruto prompted. Sakura sighed, and then looked at him again. What happened? Naruto's mouth formed a thin line at the question. He knew what she was talking about, it was obvious, but he didn't know if he could tell her. He remembered the battle with Sasuke, which ended up with him on the ground, and Sasuke standing. That's the last thing he had seen before darkness claimed him. He had easily deduced that he had failed in retrieving Sasuke. He lost, and Sasuke won. He felt crushed. He gulped when he saw Sakura's face. She had the right to know, she deserved to know. We chased after them, the people who took Sasuke. We got there, and I ended up finding Sasuke on my own. We talked, and I tried to convince him to come back. It didn't work out, and we ended up fighting. Naruto looked down. It was difficult to think about it. I lost, and he was the last one standing. Naruto finished with a sigh. He dared not look at Sakura. Sakura bit her lip nervously, dreading to ask the important question, but she needed to. Did he get away? Yeah. Sakura was ready to cry at this point. She had never felt so useless in her entire life. Not only did Naruto suffer, but Sasuke was gone now, and never coming back. Don't worry Sakura-chan. I will get him back at all costs. I promised you, and I always keep my promises, Naruto said loudly. Tears were flowing down her face. She couldn't bear this. No Naruto, you've done enough. I don't want you suffering like this. I have to go to Sakura-chan. I never go back on my word, Naruto said strongly. Then we'll do it together. I won't be useless anymore. I'll become stronger, and we'll save him together. Sakura-chan, Naruto whispered in awe. Promise me we'll do it together. Promise me Naruto, Sakura said. I promise, Naruto said with a small smile. But, you need. Her statement was cut off with the door opening, and Tsunade walking in. Oh good, you're awake, Tsunade said, as she spotted the blonde. Hokage-sama? Sakura asked confusedly. Hey Ba-chan, Naruto said with a tired grin. Stupid brat, you had me worried, she said the last part softly. She barely showed her vulnerable side, but when she had seen Naruto's condition her heart had stopped, and she cried, not in the presence of others, but she had cried in solitude. She did her best to heal him, as much as possible, but the rest could only be done by the Kyuubi. She felt so relieved to see him awake. Nothing will stop me from being Hokage one day, he said weakly. Cha, like that will ever happen, Tsunade replied with a smile. How's everyone? Naruto asked suddenly. Oh, we'll make a full recovery in due time, so they're fine Naruto, Tsunade said. That's good, Naruto said with his eyes closed. I must congratulate you on a successful retrieval mission. She knew the questions were coming. No one, but the council knew of Sasuke's presence in the hospital. Sasuke was in a secure location, where she wouldn't be easily discoverable. Sasuke escaped Ba-chan, Naruto said emotionlessly. No Naruto, he didn't, Tsunade said, and mentally prepared herself for the onslaught of questions. What do you mean? Naruto asked, as he stared at the Hokage. He was captured, and returned to Konoha, Tsunade said carefully. She had to carefully ease them into the life-changing news. So he's here in this hospital, Naruto asked in surprise and excitement. Hell, even Sakura was ready to bolt as soon as she heard which room Sasuke was in. Yes, but you have to listen carefully before you can see Sasuke again, she added quickly. What? Sakura asked impatiently. Tsunade sighed. There was no use of being subtle about it. The Sasuke that you knew was false, Tsunade said. Whatever. Where is he? Naruto asked excitedly, completely forgetting about his injuries. Listen first. Sasuke isn't who you think he is, Tsunade said. Come on, Ba-chan, you're wasting our time. Naruto said angrily. You better listen to me or I'll knock you back to Lolaland, you hear me? Tsunade snapped, and was met with silence. Sasuke Uchiha is Kami. This was going to be tough for them. Sasuke Uchiha is a girl. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Naruto shouted confusedly. Exactly how it said. Sasuke Uchiha is a girl, a female, always has been. She could see that they were refusing to believe her, and she couldn't help but sigh. Stubborn children. This isn't funny, Hokage-sama. Sakura screamed after a pause. She was pissed with Tsunade's untruthful words. It was never meant to be a joke, Tsunade replied seriously. Sheesh, your old age must be catching up to you, Ba-chan, Naruto said after another pause. You little sigh, I just wanted you to know that so you would be prepared, Tsunade said. Where is Sasuke-kun? Tsunade could already tell that Sakura refused to believe her statement. She tried. It seemed that they needed to see the truth for themselves. MB065, on the 4th floor. Make sure you tell them that you have permission from me to see Sasuke. Tsunade wasn't sure Sakura even heard her. The girl was already racing to see Sasuke. I can't believe that, Ba-chan. I would know if Sasuke was a girl or not, Naruto said seriously. Do you honestly think that I would lie to you, Naruto? Tsunade countered. Naruto just looked down. If what Tsunade said was in fact true, then he really was confused. Sakura sprinted up the stairs to the 4th floor. When she found a specific room, she immediately told the guards that Tsunade had sent her here. She quickly went inside the room and spotted its only occupant. She couldn't really get a clear view of the person, since all she was staring at was their back, with long hair, but she needed answers. Sasuke-kun. Sakura called uncertainly. The figure sighed and slowly started to turn around. Sakura held her breath as her green eyes stared into Onyx. Well, I was beginning to think that you would never show. Sasuke looked at Sakura carefully. She was expecting the emotion that she saw in Sakura's eyes, anger. You are not Sasuke-kun. Sasuke-kun isn't a female, Sakura said in denial. Sasuke sighed, typical. Sorry to disappoint you, Sakura, but I'm the one and only Sasuke Uchiha, Sasuke said in a hollow manner. Sakura was furious. She woke up to Sasuke and slapped her hard on the face, not taking note of the injury Sasuke already had. Why does everyone feel like slapping me today? Sasuke asked indifferently. You bitch. How dare you? You think I'm stupid. I know Sasuke-kun, and you are not him. Sakura screamed and then punched Sasuke in the face. PRG. Sasuke grunted as she felt the impact of Sakura's fist. Blood started dripping from her nose from the assault. Sasuke had enough. She activated her Sharingan, gravely shocking Sakura in the process. Wah! Sakura said in shock. I can't believe I thought that you were changing. Tell me, Sakura, why do you think I thanked you before I left? Sasuke asked, as she stared at the pink-haired girl. Sakura's mind completely went blank at that statement. Nobody else knew of the encounter except for Sasuke and herself. No, it couldn't be possible. When you said that you loved me, when you begged me to stay, when you begged to come with me, why do you think I said thank you? Easy, I actually felt flattered. Even if I didn't feel the same way about you, I still felt touched by your words, even if it was only a minuscule amount. Now look at you. You refuse to believe the truth, even if it's right in front of you. TCH, you know what, I don't have to prove anything to anyone. Believe what you want to, Sasuke said, then looked away from Sakura. No, Sakura was horrified. Her mind was a jumble of thoughts. No? Sakura screamed as she ran out of the room, pulling her eyes out. It was too much for her to take. Sasuke sighed again. That could have ended better. Can I see him, her? Tsunade looked at Naruto. She could easily tell he was torn between believing her statement or sticking to his own views. Her heart went out to him. Alright, give me a minute. She left the room and came a few seconds later with a wheelchair. The journey to Sasuke's room was met with silence. Tsunade truly hoped that Naruto would not take the new image of Sasuke Uchiha badly. She didn't want him going insane because of it all. When they arrived at the door, Tsunade had one final thing to say. Keep an open mind, she told him softly, and only got a light nod in response. She opened the door, and they went into the room. Sasuke was looking out the window from her bed. It never ceases to amaze her how big Konoha actually was. As a village, it truly stood out, especially with that Hokage monument. Her musings were cut short when the door opened, and when she turned around she immediately saw those familiar azure iris boring into her. Dope, Sasuke addressed after a pause. Naruto was squinting his eyes and analyzing every aspect of Uchiha, all the differences and similarities. After some time he stopped, and then looked at Sasuke again. I've only been a female for a little while, and you're already ogling me. You really are a pervert, Sasuke scoffed. So, it really is your team, Naruto said, as he eyed Sasuke. You also want proof like Sakura? Well, too bad, I'm not feeling in the mood to do so, Sasuke said offhandedly, and flopped on her bed. You even sound like a girl, Naruto said in astonishment. It was hard to miss the similarities to the team. How's your chest? I hope I didn't hurt you too badly, Sasuke mocked. Yep, it's you alright, Naruto said seriously. So what of it, Naruto-kun? Is this the part where we shake hands, and forget about everything that happened? Sasuke continued to mock. Tsunade scowled. She didn't like the Uchiha's attitude, but she decided to let Naruto handle it. Hell no, you freaking team. The term is mesu now, my dear idiot, Sasuke corrected. Whatever, there's some good in this though, Naruto said with a grin that Sasuke immediately didn't like it. What? Sasuke did her best to hide her worry. I kicked your ass all the way back to Konoha. Naruto chuckled quietly, and grimaced. He felt a little pain, but he dulled it out. Sasuke huffed, and glared at the knucklehead. You, the great Uchiha that always thought he was better than anyone, was beaten by me, the dead last loser. Naruto chuckled out. Screw you. Sasuke spat in anger. She didn't even consider acting indifferently anymore. Naruto was pissing her off. Tsunade raised an eyebrow when she saw the Uchiha visibly upset. It seemed that Naruto had an effect on the girl. What's even better is the fact that you're a girl. Your tough guy routine wouldn't work on anyone now. The fangirls are gonna freak out. Even that face you're making looks funny. Naruto full out laughed when Sasuke narrowed her eyes at him. You bastard. Sasuke shouted in anger. She wished she was better now. She really wanted to strangle Naruto. Hey, that's my line. Naruto laughed, and then coughed. Don't strain yourself, brat. You haven't completely healed yet. Tsunade admonished. Cough. Sorry, I'm calm now. Naruto said more calmly. That's good because I have an announcement, Tsunade said. What is it? Naruto asked curiously. Sasuke Uchiha has been given a probation period for her actions against Konoha. She bit her lip after she said that it was an unfair judgment. People suffered trying to bring Sasuke back, and after all the bloodshed, Sasuke had not even gotten a prison sentence. Ah, tell me something I don't know, Sasuke muttered. Ha, I thought they would send her behind bars. It was going to be very difficult to adjust to calling Sasuke a she. Believe me, Naruto, if it were up to me then I would have killed her. Crap. She realized, too late, that she said something that did not sit well with Naruto. I want her to pay for what she did, but not with her life, Naruto said seriously. Which is why I have come to a decision, Tsunade said. She really hoped this worked. What might that be, Hokage-sama? Sasuke added in, sarcasm dripping from her mouth. That Naruto becomes your caretaker, Tsunade said. What? Both Sasuke and Naruto screamed. You heard me, Tsunade replied. What the hell, Ba-chan? Naruto shouted. Relax, and hear me out. Sasuke will be allowed to roam around the village under constant surveillance. If she tries to escape she will be killed. If she causes trouble she will be killed. So she has no choice but to cooperate, Tsunade said to the shocked Naruto. What does that have to do with me? Naruto screamed once he got his bearings back. She will live with you, and do whatever it is you ask of her, without question, and within reason. She has to follow your orders. Like a slave of sorts, Tsunade replied with a grin. You're sick. Sasuke spat, as her Sharingan blazed. I can't. Tsunade cut off his rant before he started. She knew he would not agree to it when she had said slave, but she took the risk anyway. Think about it, Naruto. Sasuke is getting away with this much too easily for anyone's liking. I'm giving you the chance to be in charge of the Uchiha. She has to follow your way of living, to experience what it's like beyond the pampered illusion of being the last Uchiha. It is your chance to show her the reality of Naruto, Tsunade said. What an idiotic idea. Show me reality. You have no clue what you're talking about, Hokage. I've lived alone. I've witnessed my clan massacred. I've lived reality. I've lived hell. Your crappy view of my past does nothing to dwindle your incompetence, Sasuke said sternly. Naruto thought about what Tsunade said. She was right, Sasuke was getting off way too easily for her actions. That stupid village council, blatantly thrusting everything the Uchiha's way. It was unfair to him, unfair to his comrades who risked their lives to bring that Mesa back home. He had made his decision. I accept, Naruto said suddenly. I refuse. Sasuke retorted. She was shocked that Naruto actually accepted such a ludicrous proposal. You have no choice, Uchiha. If you refuse then you will live off the streets of Konoha. How would that look for you? The great Sasuke Uchiha, reduced to nothing but a common beggar. It was a lie, however. So many people would aid the Uchiha in her plight, but Tsunade had to back the girl into a corner. People will aid me, Sasuke said, but the hint of uncertainty was very prominent. Perhaps, but you have more enemies than you can count now after your betrayal, Tsunade countered. Sasuke sighed in defeat. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Sasuke mentally sighed. Her life was miserable. She had to stay in the hospital until she had made a full recovery. Kami, it was a nightmare. It was bad enough that Tsunade was the one tending to her wounds and making sure she was alright, but Sasuke had to admit, the old hag could hold a grudge when it suited her. It was obvious Tsunade was upset at her for what she did to Naruto, although Sasuke couldn't really figure out what relationship was shared between the two. Tsunade didn't like her, the feeling was mutual, but the old hag could at least be gentle when she was changing bandages. Honestly, Tsunade made her recovery nearly unbearable with her constant questions, her open threats, her rough treatment during examinations. Sasuke had never felt so violated in her entire life. As if that wasn't bad enough, she had to deal with constant visits from Naruto, boasting on how great he was for kicking her ass. She knew his game, he was doing it to deliberately piss her off. She couldn't understand it. No one had ever made her lose her composure like the dead last loser. Just the thought of Naruto made her angry, and she couldn't even comprehend why. He had an effect on her which no one else had. He knew how to push the right buttons, and that was not cool, that was scary. That idiot even plagued her dreams, and her nightmares. Some were so vivid that she would wake up with a start, in a cold sweat, tears leaking from her eyes. She would angrily brush them off. Of course, Uchihas did not cry. She refused to believe that these dreams were from guilt. That would be impossible. She had never felt guilty for the things she had done, and the people she had used to achieve her goals. Uchihas were perfect. They did not feel guilty for anything. Damn that dope. Damn him. What the hell was he doing to her? She decided to quickly change her line of thought before she threw a fit. It was a long way to recovery, but she had finally healed enough to be admitted out of the hospital. She was immediately placed before the council so Tsunade could prove to them that she was really Sasuke Uchiha. They didn't buy it for a second. The look on Tsunade's face was priceless. After all the documented examination and analysis results were provided, the council had no other choice but to believe Tsunade's words. Then those idiots blamed Naruto for corrupting Sasuke with perverted ideas. They actually thought she used her Ono to make herself female. What the hell was wrong with those people? Were they so desperate to thrust their daughters at the handsome Sasuke Uchiha in hopes of gaining status and an achievable Uchiha connection? They refused to believe the truth, even after everything that was placed before them. Those people were the village council. Konoha's future looked bleak. After all was said and done, the village council gave her the conditions of her probation, which were much lighter than Tsunade's, but the old hag was having none of it, even going as far as to declare that Sasuke Uchiha was now homeless and will be living with Naruto. No one was to aid her in any way. Now, that made them angry, but what Tsunade said next made most council members want to kill Naruto. He would be her caretaker, issuing orders in which the Uchiha had to follow. Tsunade almost killed some of them because of the uproar and disrespectful calls. Naruto had healed a lot faster than Sasuke did, so he had probably already been in his apartment a day prior to her release from the hospital. She had been given new clothes to accommodate her new gender, nothing fancy, only necessities that a female needed. Did she mention Tsunade didn't like her? Her new clothes were alright, a standard blue shirt, white shorts, and shinobi sandals. She didn't mind the outfit, which outlined her developing curves and assets. No, the thing that she didn't like was the bra that she had to put on. She didn't care about the panties that she wore, the bra was the problem. The thing was constricting, and it made her chest seem all the more enticing to those perverted males. She didn't know her cup size, but she had a sinking feeling that she was a lot bigger than any kunoichi her age. Just great. She hated being a female. All the steps that were needed to be taken to look presentable. Kami was way easier when she was a guy. She didn't have to worry about women's underwear. Keeping her hair away from being tangled was also a problem. It was so long, it went straight past her butt. It was so unfair. She preferred her male form more because it was easier to handle. There were many things she didn't like about being a female, mainly these weird emotions, constantly jumping from one to the next. But there was one thing that she absolutely dreaded, her monthly period. She guessed that she was able to deal with that problem, but now that she was a girl again, then she would have to endure losing a bit of her blood for the rest of her life. It wasn't something that was talked about, in fact it was taboo, but her mother had explained everything to her. When she revealed the truth of her gender, she really didn't like reliving that conversation. Now here Sasuke was walking with Tsunade to her prison for the next 2 years. She really hoped it was only 2 years. She didn't like this predicament, but she had no other choice. It was this or death, and she needed to be alive to kill Itachi. She looked around, and noticed that people weren't giving her a second glance. They don't know who you are yet, but once they do I can assure you that they'll be giving you more than just a glance, Tsunade stated. Yippee, Sasuke drawled out distastefully. I'd watch myself from now on if I were your Uchiha. You're a female now, some guys may find you desirable. Tsunade looked down at the girl with a frown. Are you worried I might get raped or something? Sasuke asked boredly. Oh no, if that were to happen it would be unfortunate, but easily dismissible. Tsunade smirked when the girl glared at her. However, that is not the reason. Oh, why don't you enlighten me? Sasuke asked curtly. If you are found being involved with anyone, you will be killed on the spot. Even if it isn't my fault. Sasuke sputtered out in surprise. Oh yes, so be very careful. Tsunade didn't even spare her glance. Sasuke looked at Tsunade in contempt. She didn't care about this village, but that didn't mean she liked Tsunade's attitude. What a bitch. Stare at me all you like, it won't change a thing, Tsunade replied evenly, not even looking at the girl. Sasuke settled for silently cursing the Hokage. They soon arrived at Naruto's apartment, but before they could enter, Tsunade had a few words to say. Naruto will be your caretaker. He will provide you with food, water, etc. You are to follow his commands. If he asks you to clean, then you will clean. If he asks you to cook, then that's exactly what you will do. If you cause trouble. Yeah, I'll be killed. Why, Naruto? Why would you subject me to being that dope's maid? Out of all the punishments you could think of, why the hell did you have to pick this one? Sasuke asked incredulously. Simple, of all the people that suffered due to your betrayal, Naruto was the worst. He died twice in the operating room because of that hole you made. We were lucky that he could heal remarkably quickly. You made a lot of people suffer, and with the limited options that I had, then you can bet I picked this punishment. It may not be what you deserve, but it will be close enough, Tsunade said seriously. Sasuke kept silent after she heard Tsunade say that Naruto had actually died twice. She felt uncomfortable with that revelation. Tsunade struggled to keep her composure. Those were not welcoming memories. She sealed her face, and then opened the door to Naruto's apartment. Naruto had not been having a good day. His water bill had increased, and the landlord was getting impatient with the monthly rent, which was ridiculously large. It wasn't fair, people hated and exploited him because of that damn fox. Adding to the fact that Sakura didn't want to talk to him, or anyone, then his sour mood would be justified. He had a serious talk with Jiraiya a few days ago, but he didn't really want to think of that conversation now. Tsunade had told him that Sasuke would be coming today. No matter what had happened between them, Naruto couldn't bring himself to hate Sasuke. The Uchiha was a prick, but they had been through way too much together for Naruto to detest Sasuke. That did not mean he wasn't angry at Sasuke for what she did, for what she put people through. No, he didn't hate her, but he was mad at her. When Tsunade had given him this proposal, he wanted to decline because he never was a person to commit someone else to slavery. He didn't believe in that crap, but when Tsunade suggested showing Sasuke the error of her ways, then he really thought about it. This was his chance to teach Sasuke a lesson, to bring the almighty Uchiha back to earth, to show Sasuke what being a human was like, and if it was for Sasuke's own good, then Naruto was all for it. His head snapped up when he heard his front door opening. He saw Tsunade walk in, and then his azure eyes met Sasuke's onyx. Tsunade cleared her throat to get his attention back on her. I actually thought you'd be sleeping right now. Tsunade raised an eyebrow at the blonde, who was watching TV. Come on, Bachan. It's noon. Naruto pouted. Naruto, you need to rest for just a little while longer, Tsunade said. Nah, I'm good. Naruto waved off her concerns. Alright. Well, I bought the Uchiha, as promised. The council has also provided funds for her benefit, Tsunade informed. She didn't mind the last part of her statement. The funds would benefit Naruto, as well. Everyone knew that the boy needed the money. Yeah, Naruto said absent-mindedly, as he stared down Sasuke. Remember what I said to Naruto, Tsunade said seriously, and then left the apartment. Sasuke was staring at Naruto impassively. The idiot had silently declared a staring match, but Sasuke was not in the mood for that. She rolled her eyes when she saw him assess her body. Still ogling. I thought you would have at least gotten over the fact that I'm female, Sasuke informed boredly. I don't care what gender you are. You'll always be a theme to me, Naruto said strongly. He had to admit that Sasuke's outfit accentuated her curves quite nicely, and he could also see that she was more developed than any other girl their age. He quickly slapped himself. What was he thinking? This was Sasuke. Sasuke just sighed. It was as if Naruto was getting dumber with each passing day. Mesu, Sasuke reminded after a pause. She didn't care about people calling her names. Let them have their childish hobbies. Like I care, Naruto snorted out, and then stared at his TV. Sasuke took the opportunity to look around Naruto's apartment, and she only had 3 words to say. What a dump, Sasuke said distastefully. Hey. This is where you'll be living from now on too, you prick. Naruto gritted out. Sasuke's nose wrinkled in disgust. The place was an absolute mess. Ramen cups were everywhere, clothes were dumped unceremoniously round the living room and kitchen, and there was this funny smell she couldn't distinguish. She spotted something out of Naruto's window. She mentally sighed. She had forgotten about the Anbu that would be always watching her. She looked back at Naruto and saw him still in his jumpsuit, and she couldn't help but raise an eyebrow. Didn't the dope have anything else to put on? Let's get one thing clear, dope. I have no choice but to be here, this crap you call a home. I don't like you, you don't like me, so let's make this probationary period bearable, shall we? Sasuke said with her eyes closed. Naruto just raised an eyebrow at her statement. He didn't have to listen to shit, but he decided to see where she was going with this. We will divide the spaces between us. You can keep this lounging area, but I have the bedroom, which I'm sure I have to clean up since you're nothing more than a pig. We will have to share the kitchen however, so I will have permission to use the kitchen when I'm hungry, Sasuke said evenly. Naruto said nothing, and let her continue. You will be allowed into the bedroom only for hygienic purposes, nothing else, Sasuke said, and then opened her eyes to see the dope's reaction. He was unreadable. DRMGRRRMMM Sasuke actually thought Naruto was going to explode from anger, with the way he was slowly becoming red. Naruto doubled over in laughter. Sasuke stared wide-eyed at the blonde, who was busy rolling on the ground, and laughing his butt off. Her surprise quickly turned into anger. What's so funny, you idiot? Sasuke gritted out. You? Naruto continued. Sasuke grit her teeth in anger. She didn't find any humor in this situation. Naruto calmed himself down, and then surprised Sasuke with how serious he looked. I'm not stupid, Sasuke. Ba-chan put me in charge, not you. Don't even try to act tough either. Ba-chan told me all about those chakra suppression seals she put on each of your wrists. Right now you can barely harm me with how weak you are, Naruto said with a smug grin. Sasuke gaped at the dope. He dared to call her weak. She'll show him weakness. Sasuke ran, grabbed Naruto by the collar, and yanked him so he was an inch from her face. She glared furiously at Naruto. That cocky grin he was still sporting made her want to kill him all over again. Careful, Sasuke-chan, you don't want those guys outside to get the wrong idea, Naruto said while grinning like an idiot. Sasuke took a glance at the window, and saw the Anbu on alert. She knew they were waiting for her to slip up, so they could deliver the finishing blow. She growled at the blonde, and then shoved him away from her. Naruto didn't even seem fazed in the least. He looked around, and then an idea came to him. Well, Ba-chan said I need to order you around, and stuff, so I guess I should start with something easy. Clean this place up, Naruto said, indicating the designated area. Have you finally lost what little brain power you have left? I'm not cleaning up after you. This is your mess, I don't have to do anything. I'm an Uchiha. I give orders, not take them. The faster you'll learn that the easier this period will be. Sasuke starts with a scowl, the nerve of this loser. Well, I think you have me confused with one of your stupid followers. You have to follow what I say, or Ba-chan won't be happy, Naruto sing-songed the last part. Sasuke's scowl only deepened to hell with the old hag. I follow my own rules. Not anymore, those guys are here to make sure of that, Naruto said, while indicating to the Anbu on the roof of another building. Chen. Sasuke couldn't retort to what he said. Naruto's eyes suddenly lit up, and Sasuke had a terrible feeling in her stomach. Naruto quickly went to his bedroom, and came back out with a pink apron. Hell no. Sasuke screeched, as soon as she saw what Naruto was holding. Hey, don't blame me, blame Ba-chan. I think she's getting a little too into this, Naruto said thoughtfully. Well, screw you, Uzumaki. I don't care if I do die. I will not put that thing on. Sasuke spat. Hey, it's your choice, Naruto shrugged nonchalantly, then continued, I'm going to see Sakura-chan now. Don't wait for me. He didn't even wait for her to respond, as he quickly dashed out of the room. Damn you, Naruto. Sasuke screamed. She was sure he probably didn't hear it. She looked around again, and she couldn't stop the ugly snarl even if she wanted to. She didn't take orders, especially from the dope. That stupid team. This was his mess. She shouldn't clean up after someone else. She shouldn't clean up at all. She looked at the window, and the Anbu was still there. She was so angry that she actually flipped them off, and then flopped on the couch. She will not clean, not for anyone, and certainly not for the dope. Bastard. She hissed. Naruto was walking to Sakura's house in trepidation. Sakura had been distant with everyone, even her own parents, and that greatly worried the blonde. He knew the reason for her behavior, Sasuke. Sakura loved Sasuke, something Naruto loathed even now. She loved Sasuke so much that she made him promise to bring him back, which he didn't mind at all since Sasuke was their teammate. She must have been heartbroken when she realized that Sasuke was a girl as well. He walked carefully to Sakura's house, making sure not to be spotted by her parents. The Haruno family did not like him. He didn't even know why. He never did anything bad to them, did he? Well, even so, he cared too much about Sakura to let her wallow in depression for the rest of her life. He quickly snuck to the back of the house, and walked to Sakura's window. He stopped immediately when he heard voices. Sweetie, please talk to Kasen. I'm here, please talk to me. Naruto carefully looked inside Sakura's window, and saw Mabuki rubbing Sakura's head gently, saying the girl was huddled on the bed. After a few more attempts, the mother gave off a frustrated sigh, and then left her daughter in peace. Naruto took that opportunity to knock on Sakura's window. Sakura didn't give any indication to have heard the knock, and Naruto had to change strategy. Sakura-chan, Naruto whispered sharply. Sakura-chan. Naruto continued. Sakura slowly looked at him. Her eyes were glazed and unfocused. It was as if she was looking straight through him. That did not sit well with Naruto. Sakura-chan, let me in. Last time she avoided him, so he prayed she wouldn't now. For a long while Sakura didn't even move, and Naruto felt like coming over another day, but then she stood up. Naruto kept his white eyes on her, as she made her way to the window, and opened it. Naruto. She sounded so lost, so confused, and Naruto grimaced when he heard the desperate tone. Hey, Sakura-chan. Can we talk? Naruto said seriously. Sakura didn't know what to say, so she settled for nodding her head and letting Naruto inside. Sasuke stared at the TV screen. She had long turned it off. She was in deep thought. Naruto would not be happy that she hadn't even made an effort to clean anything, she snorted. This shouldn't be her problem. If it wasn't for the old hag, then she would be training now, using the best that the council could provide, including Kakashi. She briefly wondered where the Cyclops was. She hadn't seen him in the entire time she had been back in Konoha. Maybe he went on a mission. She walked into the bathroom and saw the cleaning supplies. She bit her lip. Tsunade had informed her that if she caused any trouble, then she would be killed without question. She angrily turned around and stormed out of the bathroom. She would not submit. Her journey was cut short when a sense of doubt started to overtake her. No. She didn't care. Tsunade could do whatever she wanted. She stopped completely when she was just about to leave the bedroom. She had no choice but to choose options. If she disobeyed, then she was sure Tsunade would come to do the killing herself. The thought made her shiver. If she decided to follow, then she would be subjugated to more, even worse, duties in the near future, but she would still live to tell the tale. She gritted her teeth when she realized her lack of options. Damn that bastard. She walked back into the bathroom and looked at the utensils. She bit her lip again. This was so embarrassing. How are you? Naruto asked awkwardly. Sakura just stared at her feet, her hair covering her eyes from view. I know what happened with Sasuke was that Sakura was terrible. I know you loved him. I guess I can't relate to what you're going through, Naruto said. It was different with me. I never liked Sasuke that way. He was more of just a teammate in the beginning of Team 7. Naruto looked at Sakura. Her demeanor had not changed, but he could tell that she was listening. No matter what we went through, Sasuke was always the team I hated to live with and could not live without, Naruto mused with a small smile. We didn't like each other at first, but over time that all changed. Sasuke was like a brother to me. We had our ups and downs, but we always stuck together when it counted, Naruto continued. Sakura still hadn't moved, but Naruto could see her eyes again. They were slowly coming back to life, so he pressed on. When he betrayed us, I felt hurt, I felt angry. I mean, why would he do that after everything we've been through? Naruto asked, and received no answer. When we fought, I used everything I had, using my anger to aid me, but then I realized that was the wrong approach. When he struck my chest, it made me realize something. I was regretful this time. Sakura was looking at him. I felt regretful for not doing more for him, for not being there when all those dark thoughts came into his mind, for not being a friend when he needed one, instead of people who obsessed over his Uchiha heritage, Naruto said sadly. Sakura was still just staring at him. Naruto gulped. When I found out he was a girl, it didn't affect me that much. I guess it was mainly because gender didn't matter to me. Gorilla Boy Sasuke Uchiha will always be a team, Naruto said, and then felt happy when Sakura smiled at him. I know I can never understand how all this is affecting you. I don't love Sasuke, but I know how much it hurts when you know the love you have for someone else will never be returned, that it's only one-sided. He had to pause when he saw Sakura looking at him remorsefully. She knew what he was talking about. Yeah, but you know what? It's okay. Amni-chan told me once that if you really love someone unconditionally, then you want them to be happy. That's the most important thing to you, Naruto said. What does that have to do with this? Sakura whispered. Sakura-chan, all I ever wanted was for you to be happy, even if it was with Sasuke in the end. I'd be happy for the both of you, even if I felt hurt. Am made me realize that I did love you unconditionally. Naruto, It's okay, I know you don't feel the same way. What I'm trying to bring up is the important Sakura-chan. Why did you love Sasuke? You know the reasons for Naruto, Sakura said. No, all I know are the fangirl's reasons, Naruto said, then smiled sheepishly when Sakura frowned at him. Well, he had gone through so much at a young age. I wanted to be there and make him happy, Sakura said. Would you be happy for him if he ended up with another girl? Naruto asked. Sakura bit her lip. Would you be happy for the other girl? Naruto questioned. No, Sakura said honestly. Why? Naruto pressed. Because she ended up with him, Sakura said. That sounded so selfish, but it was the truth. No one ever said that love was easy to deal with. No one can fault you for that, but wouldn't that upset him? The fact that you're not happy for him? Naruto asked. Yeah, but that still has nothing to do with Sasuke being a girl. Sakura said impatiently. I guess everything leads up to one question. Did you love Sasuke unconditionally? Naruto asked. Yes, Sakura immediately answered. Even now, when she's a girl? Naruto asked. That's different from Naruto, Sakura said with a scowl. It doesn't have to be the same kind of love. Hell, you don't even have to like Sasuke at all now, but there is a reason why they call it unconditional love. Take your time in figuring this out, Sakura-chan, because you deserve to be happy. Think carefully about Sakura-chan. I'll see you later, Naruto said, and then promptly left Sakura's room, making sure to quietly leave through the window. He decided to let her figure out her feelings from there. Aim really helped teach those kinds of things, and he was grateful for that. He was making his way back to the apartment, not expecting much. If he knew Sasuke, then it was safe to say that his apartment was still a mess. He didn't really care for the mess, and he doubted he would be involved in Sasuke's death, but he hoped that it never came to that. He had forgotten that Tsunade had told him to be constantly watching Sasuke's shit. He broke into a run. How could he forget? Tsunade was going to kill him, he just knew it. He dreaded the worst as he approached his apartment. Sasuke could be dead, she could have escaped, she could have killed somebody, all because he left her unattended. This sucked. He was slowly starting to regret ever accepting Tsunade's proposal. He ran into his apartment and then promptly slipped and fell on his back. You stupid idiot. I just cleaned that floor. Naruto looked up from his position and found himself staring at an irate Sasuke. What the hell did you do to this place? Naruto shouted in surprise when he stared at his clean apartment. I did something you could never comprehend, Naruto-kun. I cleaned, Sasuke snapped. Wow, you actually did, Naruto said in awe. TCH, it's not like I had much of a choice. Oh, by the way, Sasuke walked up and hauled Naruto to his feet. I never want to see a mess in here again, you hear me? Yeah? Naruto said confusedly. Good. She dropped him to the ground. Naruto was a bit dazed. He watched Sasuke as she walked over to the couch. That's when he spotted the apron she was wearing. You wearing the apron? Naruto asked incredulously. Sasuke turned around and glared furiously at the blonde. You tell anyone of this, and I don't care if Tsunade punishes me, I will kill you, Sasuke snarled. What the hell? You don't get to call me team, you prick. Naruto snarled back. You moron, Sasuke dismissed, and then sat on the sofa. Naruto looked around the apartment. Sasuke really did a good job, and he had to wonder how that was even possible. How did you do it? It's hard to believe that you could actually clean anything, Naruto said observantly. I'm an Uchiha, Sasuke said, as if that was all it took to explain. Geez, Uchiha this, Uchiha that. Do you ever get tired of sounding like a broken record? You'd annoy anyone to death with your cocky attitude. Naruto said irritably. What about you? Sasuke countered. What the hell are you talking about? Naruto frowned. Here you are chewing me out when you're the most cocky bastard anyone has ever met, Sasuke said. Whatever. Naruto snapped. Did I strike a nerve? What's wrong, my dear Naruto-kun? I'm here to listen, Sasuke said sarcastically. Naruto glared at her. I'm waiting, Sasuke said with a yawn. Screw you. Naruto shouted. No, screw you. Where do you get off, you hypocrite? Mouthing off on how full of myself I am. What about you, ha? Sasuke spat, and then made her way until she inches away from him. Everything is just easy for you. You got everything handed to you on a silver platter. You didn't have to fight for everything like I did. You didn't have to start from the bottom like I did, with nothing. Naruto struggled not to lose his composure at the unwanted memories of his harsh childhood. You think it was easy for me, you bastard? You sorry excuse for a bastard. Try living a life where you see your family killed right in front of you. Where people are only interested in you because of what you can offer them. Living alone. Sasuke shouted out. Damn it, these new emotions were getting harder to control. Try living mine, where everyone hates you in Konoha. People used to beat me, poison me, they always tried to kill me, but I never gave up, I always fought for their respect. You're a coward, always looking for the easy way out, and refusing anyone that genuinely wants to be there for you. In the end, you chose to be alone. Slap. Sasuke couldn't hold her hand back even if she wanted to stop herself. She was shocked and a little horrified with what Naruto had been through, but she was more angry and upset at the accusation she was being put through. She stormed into the bedroom and slammed the door shut. Naruto brought his hand up to his left cheek. There was no doubt about it now, Sasuke was a girl, she could even slap like one. He sighed. He went too far with what he said, but Sasuke deserved it. She needed to see the truth, but he guessed he wasn't perfect. He didn't know what to do. Should he apologize? He certainly felt like doing so, but now wasn't the time for it. If you guessed right, then Sasuke was upset, and would truly attack him if he did anything now. He sighed, and made his way to the couch. He didn't have a blanket, but he dared not to go into his bedroom. He would just have to settle for sleeping with no protection from the night's cold. He shrugged, he was used to stuff like this. Sasuke was on the bed, silently crying. She tried to get rid of the tears, but they wouldn't stop coming. She was upset at Naruto for the things he said. No one had ever told her anything like that, and she had to admit, it kind of hurt. He didn't know her, he didn't understand what she had been through, but she didn't know him either. She didn't even know that he suffered that greatly, she just thought he grew up alone. She tried to brush away the tears, but she still didn't stop. Uchihas do not cry. She gritted out, and then sniffed, it was hopeless. She looked at the nightstand, and saw the Team 7 photos, in perfect condition. She was surprised when she saw it earlier in the same condition, clean and spotless. The photo was the only clean object in the apartment, and Sasuke had found herself asking why. It didn't make any sense, the apartment was a mess save the photo. Then it all hit her. He still cherished Team 7, he still cherished the times they had together. If Sasuke was in Naruto's shoes, then she would have probably burned the photo, but she wasn't in Naruto's shoes. She found herself actually feeling sorry for her earlier words. She sighed. Her first day of probation was a disaster, but it had made her a bit curious about Naruto. There were so many mysteries surrounding the boy. She decided not to think too much about it, and to get some sleep. She was not going to eat that disgusting broth called ramen. They would have to discuss the grocery list tomorrow. Tsunade had given them a substantial amount of money, all courtesy of the council. She looked down, and realized that she didn't leave any blankets in the living room. She shouldn't care, let the dope sleep in the cold, he would deserve it. She looked at the bed, and sighed again. She got up, and made sure to take a blanket before making her way to the living room. She gave a sigh of relief when she saw him sleeping on the couch. It would have been awkward if he were awake. She draped a blanket over him, and watched Naruto snuggle into the warmth. Her stomach felt funny at the sight. "Don't say I never did anything nice for you, dope," she all but whispered, and got no reply from the sleeping blonde. She made her way into the bedroom again, and shut the door with a soft click. Thanks for watching my video, and make sure to check out the author of this fanfic. Link is in the description. See you next time. Till then, sayonara.